Hello and welcome to another episode of Thrive with Mulungi. Over here, conversations bloom, and I'm really excited for us to get into this one. I'm going to get a bit technical, but please stay with me because this conversation is very, very important. When you look at Ugandan statistics, it is estimated that by the time we are done with 2025, about 15% of Ugandan's population will be connected to the internet. What that means is the digital space is here and it's not about to leave. But how can you and Mulungi make sure that you are staying safe, surfing the internet, posting your selfies, enjoying your TikToks very safely, and how that can be made very possible? Well, sit back because today I am joined by two amazing ladies that are going to talk us through digital safety. Now, before you run away, we are going to digest this bits by bits. However, should you hear any other echoes, they are proudly brought to you by construction next door. Don't you love Uganda? I'm joined by two amazing ladies, like I mentioned, and please, because I want to do them the full honor of making sure I cover most of the things that they do, please say hi to Joyce Namugambe. And Joyce is a journalist. She's also a creative script writer. She has been in the field as a reporter since 2011. And of course, she has also worked at various stations, some of you, which are your favorite. We're talking CBS, Namugambe FM, Taji TV. Yes, she's no stranger to some of you. She also, throughout her career, has covered stories on topics like education, health, and of course, Uganda Kingdom, the church, women. So I believe that with her input, we're going to understand how to navigate the internet, especially as a journalist, but also as a woman, because most times we find ourselves at crossroads. You're there, you're posting your nice selfies, and before you know it, trolls, or you're trending. But the other person that I have with me today is none other than this one. I'm tying on her because this is not the first time her and I are meeting. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am joined by Irene Abalo Otto. Now, Irene is a professional multimedia journalist and a consultant trainer. Everything digital safety and online harassment, she is your go-to. Irene over here has over 16 years of experience, and that is in journalism practice, investigation, analysis, but she also is a consultant and a trainer and a mentor. You go to Aga Khan University, you may have rubbed shoulders with her here and there, and I hope you didn't step on her toes. Okay. And she also is very passionate about media development, gender, climate change, social justice, you name it. Her CV precedes her. But ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
It is so amazing to hear someone introduce you. For a moment, I was like, oh, is that me? Thank you for your kind introductions. And I'm just happy to be here.
I'm so glad you're here. This is our first time meeting, Joyce. How are you doing? Are you still practicing?
Yeah, I'm still in the field, but partly no longer a full-time journalist. Yeah, the fact that I'm working on online, I go to the field partly, go back home or to office, do my work, and then post.
And then post. Is that something that COVID made easier for you? Because I feel like for most of us, we didn't really rate digital until COVID. When COVID hit, suddenly we can work from home, please.
Not just on the work, we can even study online.
Online. Surprisingly, I started this after COVID.
You did?
After COVID, I returned to office, was active in the field. Then I was like, I have to attend to my kids. My kids were missing me. I had very little time for them. So I was like, I should go online so that I can devise more time for them. And it's moving on well.
Is there any example of being chronically online than sometimes sitting in a place and someone is listening or watching our TikTok and you want to join in and sing a song? Do you also find yourself in a space like that sometimes?
You know, there's moments when you're like so busy and you're the only one who is too busy. Then someone pops up with this weird sound that
You have to turn your neck and
Or you like find yourself subconsciously singing along, which goes
Yes,
to show you that
really.
digital is part of our lives. This is not something that we are going to throw away anytime soon. And so I'm very excited that we get to talk about how to navigate it very safely. Now, ladies, before we get into the very serious stuff, we are going to play a game. And this game is called Never Have I Ever, but the Digital Safety Edition. So all we are going to do, just for the purposes of you that is watching, Never Have I Ever is simply a game where I mention something that I say, never have I ever, let's say, been on TikTok. And should my guests be on TikTok, they raise their hands and just briefly tell us a brief story about, their TikTok experience. Are we ready? This should be fun. Please don't lie. We will ask your family members whether you told the truth or not. So are we ready, ladies?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so here goes. Never have I ever Googled myself.
Is that even possible? That you don't Google yourself?
We'll start with you, Irene. What did you find?
So the first time I Googled myself, I found the younger version of me and I was like,
Facebook.
that was like 15 years ago. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is me. Oh, this was actually me.
Was the data you saw accurate about yourself?
I think for me, I've always been intentional about what I post online, mainly about my work, what I do and where I do it from. But I was in the field and there was this tiny lady, and right now if we met, I would ask her, yeah, man, what have you been doing all these years?
Joyce, what
Yeah.
did you find?
Yeah, when I Googled myself, I found those innocent looks pictures. And I was like, I was looking like this before. And the funny thing was, on my LinkedIn account, I posted something by mistake. I was talking to someone inbox, and when I Googled, I was like, hey, come I put it on the wall. I was struggling to put it off, but it had already spent some time there. And I was like, what was I doing there even? The person didn't receive the message, but for me, I knew I had sent the message. Kumbe, it was on my account.
I think which speaks into the digital print and how very hard it is to erase things that you put online. Let's proceed. Never have I ever shared my password with a friend or family member. What was the scenario? Did they need to withdraw mobile money somewhere, or what happened?
No, I was trying to change my password. So I did it several times that I could not even remember what the new password I had set. So I had to ask someone that, did you see that password? And she was like, I've been seeing you trying this and this. I tried this one. And when I tried it, it was the password. I was like, is this a password? Is it safe anyway?
Anymore. Man, Irene, how do you do it? How come you've never shared yours?
I have only shared my bank account PIN with my partner. And that was a time when I was after surgery. I needed money and there was no way around it. I had to get the money. So I was like, here is the card. Go get it. And I also put the amount to be picked.
Then
Yes, then later I changed the PIN. Because I don't trust him. But just
Safety.
for you. Just, yes, it's mine.
Never have I ever used public Wi-Fi without a VPN. You're in a hotel, it's a conference, they've written there, the password is.
Before I joined this digital safety space, I didn't know that someone could actually easily have access to my data when I'm using that public Wi-Fi. So I used to just go to a hotel, sit there, file my stories happily and go away. Actually, what we used to do was, if you're staying in a hotel for 1 week, you have the password and everything constant. So whether you're in your room, everywhere, you just use it. But after, when I got to know the things that happen, These days I have to use a safe browser if I must.
If you must. Indeed. See, I'm really excited. By the time we get to the end of this conversation, I'm pretty sure I'll also go and check and make sure. The other thing is, never have I ever believed fake news without cross-checking. You see a headline, a photo. Nowadays they have that font, and for you let's hear from Joyce. What did you do?
Yeah, it was about these recent elections, Kawempe by-elections. When those videos started circulating, the rigging of elections, they are pre-taking the votes and whatever. And at first I believed that these people are doing this. And kumbe, then I went back to my senses and I'm like, if someone is critiquing, how come they allow people in the with the camera to come capture them? Why wouldn't they get some safe spaces there? And it was hard to convince other people that these people are just making stands over these things. So I was wondering how people could know about the fake news and differentiate between critiquing and then these comedian videos. So, but at first I believed. And the second scenario was when Bob Wine he got an incident somewhere in Bolingo. It was a tear gas canister.
The alleged shooting.
And the people are like, he was shot, he has been shot. And after taking some time to find out what the truth is, it was not a gunshot, but people with these community journalists, they bring out this information and people are misled. People can start rioting from nowhere, but it takes time to believe.
So it's very important to verify the information that we see online. Never have I ever used the same password for multiple accounts.
Mulungi, if you could allow me to say something before we leave this one.
Please.
Mother Mary appears to people.
Talk about
Mother Mary has become for those who are Catholics, please forgive me. But how come Mother Mary keeps appearing in this cloud and she's speaking to someone, or a group of people, or is under a tree? I mean, you can even sketch out Mother Mary from the cloud. Yeah.
I raise you mermaid, my mermaid content. We have captured a mermaid on camera.
I mean, these are so fake that you can easily tell. But to a religious person, to tell them that, no, Mother Mary does not appear and she's captured.
You might even be excommunicated.
You become an enemy.
Indeed.
Yeah, so those Mother Mary things, please.
We need to verify the information we consume.
I am not a Catholic and I don't say maybe it's not true, but it's just so easy to sketch and know that this is fake.
Especially in this day and age of AI and the internet. So let's go back to never have I ever used the same password for multiple accounts. Yes, Irene and then Joyce.
Joyce, so as a trainer, usually I want to bring to people practical things. So for instance, I have so many accounts because I do like a number of things. So I reached a point where I said, now, if I am training people, some of the things have to be practical to me. If I train you to create strong passwords, and I know that we can test and verify that these passwords are strong, why can't I do it myself and see if it works for me too? So I ditched all these hard things to do with password managers and all that, because I realized after training, no one was using the password managers. They couldn't even install them in their laptops or in their phones. So I decided, let me just concentrate on creating strong passwords. So I succeeded in creating very strong passwords. I have 2 of them that I use for all my accounts. Please don't try to hack. Very strong, because you'll take trillions of years to hack into those accounts. I'm not inviting you to hack it.
Please
but I'm
don't.
just saying.
Do not do it.
But I'm just saying, you can use a very strong password that does not have the name of your spouse, that does not have
the predictable information.
Yes, the predictable information of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or if your
ABCD,
faith, my
spelled
love,
backwards,
sweetheart, husband, wife. Those ones we can easily predict, or your birthday, the birthday of your loved one. But just mix a few things here, symbols, letters, mix characters, and play with things that you are familiar with and can easily remember. And that's what I did.
That's what you're doing. That's really brilliant, Joyce.
I used to I'd set almost the same password for all the accounts because I used to forget, and every time I open an account, I'm like, forgot password, and I would reset, and I was like, I should use this. I used my phone number, and then I used my daughter's name. And when I went, in fact, it was Irene. She was a facilitator in certain training, digital safety, and she used the password manager for us to test our passwords. My dear, my password was the weakest. And I was like, am I safe on my accounts, or I'm just leaving them like point blank? So that's when I got to know. In fact, it was the day I was hacked on Facebook. And I was like, hey, if someone hacks my Facebook, that means Gmail and all accounts can be accessed. That's when I started using these strong nannies. And then I had to get that hard time of noting somewhere the passwords, and I could put on the wall because I could not remember the password, and I have to log out and sign out every time I use a laptop or public means. So I was like, this is becoming too hard. So I then went back to my daughter's name, and I was like, she's my firstborn. I write Abalo, and then a certain number. She's my firstborn, number one. Then at mommy at like, so, and it was hard, but with time I got used to that. Yeah.
So I just want to know if the writings on the walls have reduced to put the
They are
passwords.
not reducing because even my kids are too much on them. Every time you put it there, she gets it off.
Why do you have a feeling that, but we'll get into that, tips on how we can actually remember, create and remember these strong passwords. Maybe the last one, never have I ever accepted all cookies.
I won't mention.
There are some articles they force you to because you need the content. But when I do that, I go and clear my caches and history and everything.
That's how you're able to navigate.
Yes.
Although lately, I don't know if you've realized, ladies, but because of different data laws in the host companies of these apps, most of them are now required to give us an option where you accept the necessary ones and reject some of them. And I don't even think most people know that that is a thing.
The thing is, what you need to read, first of all, needs when you understand what it is. Because you're telling me to accept or reject or have options, but I don't even understand the options you're giving me.
Oh, I thought cookies were something I munch on.
Yes. So I think there's a bit of education that has to happen around what cookies are, which ones are safe for you to accept and which ones you can't accept. Yeah.
So now that that is out of the way, I must say we are doing quite well in certain areas. And I think what this game for me shows is that there is always room for improvement. Let's go back from the very start. What is digital safety, Irene? And how can a TikToker, how can someone on Snapchat ensure that they are safe while navigating these different platforms?
Okay. Usually I like to give this analogy of a padlock.
Yes.
For your digital account. Say you have your digital platforms, say you're on TikTok, for instance, and you have your account there. But imagine that that account is like this door over here. Oh, by the way, there's a door here. So imagine it's like a door here, and then you have a padlock, which is the most common padlock that you know.
Solex.
Hey, you have the Solex there. You just put the key and you left the Solex there. You didn't lock and remove the Solex. Remove the key from the Solex. So digital safety means you have that door. The door is to safeguard whatever is in this house, which is your TikTok account. So make sure when you put the padlock there, because the digital companies, the app developers have given you options to either close that door with that Solex and lock it and remove the key and let the key be with you, or you can just let it be the way they have given it to you. When you rent this house, it's most probably that the landlord or the landlady will not lock and go with the key. You need access to the house. So you come and put your padlock, okay? The landlord or landlady in this case is the app developer. And then the padlock, you buy your own padlock, come lock it, and then the key is with you. It's only you who can have access to the house. Unless you give someone else access or a copy. So what do I mean here? Digital safety is me having my TikTok account, the developer has given me that platform. But when I am in that space, I choose what I do with it. Who do I allow? Who don't I allow? Just like you have on X. Who do I allow to tag me? Who don't I allow to tag me? I have my reasons not to be tagged. I have my reasons to say, in this one, I do not want certain comments. In this space of mine, I don't want to see certain things. So you even block, you even block what you can view, or when someone sends, you can even block notifications. You don't want everything coming into you and distracting you. Oh, Mulungi has posted, so-and-so has posted. Why should you be getting all these notifications?
With 100 other people.
Yes. Why I mean, you have other things you're doing in your life. Even if you're a social media influencer, you can't keep up with everything. So you choose to say, me, I'm going to have this house of mine called my X account, for instance, but there are certain things that I do not want. And this is how I am going to keep out certain things. So you're going to choose to make sure that your password is strong. You're going to choose in your settings to make sure that certain things do not just come to you because someone has posted.
Videos don't just play automatically.
Videos don't just play. Sounds just don't pop up from nowhere. So you choose those things and you make those settings. So safety means you are putting everything that you own, which is your account, because it has your print or your digital footprint, and making sure no other person has access to it. Even when you engage with other people, you make sure you're not giving them room to either access your account and misuse it, or you even misusing it on other people.
Thank you so much, Irene. I like the analogy of a door over a house, because when we create these accounts, we are practically tenants on this app. So it's entirely up to us to make sure that our spaces are doing great. As someone that is now online as a journalist, what are some of the common mistakes you've seen, especially women, make online? And Irene, if there are any other that you may have to supplement from what Joyce is going to share with us, please do go ahead. Reason being, most of the spaces that we are on, I think about 60% of the population on Twitter X are men. Most of these spaces have mostly been spaces where men have thrived. I mean, go into a household, who are you going to find with a phone? Even the little kids. But then you'll find sometimes the girls with the dolls, or in the kitchen, or helping out. So as we are evolving, getting into 15% of the population in Uganda, especially for the urban areas, what are some of the common mistakes that affect our safety have you ladies seen we make online?
First, we activate our locations. Someone moves from here, someone knows I'm in Nadia right now doing this and that. Because if your location is active, it's on, that means if someone wants to get you, that person will get you. Then like women, especially women, they're fond of being updating people on what they are doing, where they are doing this, and when they are going to do it. So, for example, these WhatsApp statuses. You post like, in Nadia, I'm shooting a podcast, I'm like this, until 4 p.m. I'll be out. Like, someone is updated on your steps, whatever you're doing, that person knows. If someone wants to do evil to you, it is so easy for you to be got. And then the fact that we use these phones, they are our gadgets. Most people don't sign out. They don't log out these accounts in their phone.
I'm guilty. I'll do better starting
So when
today.
you get into the trap when their phone is stolen, people can easily misuse your accounts. All the accounts that are active on the phone, they can be misused. So it is crucial for someone to think. It's not so easy for someone to log out every day from your phone. It's hard because you're using it every minute, every time. But think of the side B. When you lose this phone, what will happen? People are using these phones to call relatives and families. Someone and so accident and whatsoever, she needs money. People send money. It's because everything is active. And then the passwords we use. Our passwords, like I have just mentioned, they are too easy for someone to misuse. Someone takes your phone, like, the laptop. Me, I was a victim somewhere back. I'll share this in my experience. It's because of the password. Someone can easily get your password and inform people about anything concerning you. So I think it's crucial for us to watch ourselves, starting from ourselves. Before we tell that girl that this and this should be done, check yourself. How are you safeguarding your gadgets? How are you safeguarding your accounts? Because sometimes, even as mothers, we give these phones to our kids. They can take photos, they can do this and this, they can post, and someone can call. You've sent an empty voice note. I was like, when was that? But the kid has sent like 5. So if it lands in the hands of someone who wants to do something wrong to you, it is too easy. And then, as women, we do post our families on social media. Like you post everything concerning your family, and someone knows who is your first daughter,
Name of the school,
and name of school. This is the school
name.
You post the kids in the uniform. This person knows where the kid goes. Like, if it is getting your child in case of kidnapping, trust me, this person will get that baby.
The child,
because he can even fake at the school that I know this baby, she stays here and there,
and they have
so and so, because they know everything about the girl. She's in this stream, this school, this branch. So you're just exposing whatever is
on Wednesday they wear purple.
So the end of it, or you are falling into the trap of being the victim from your own actions.
Indeed. As someone that is a content creator, Get Ready With Me, Diaries of a 35-year-old that lives alone, you come with me, you take people around. Thank you for that. Irene, have we missed anything?
Yes, we have. But picking up on what she's saying, some people want to do reality. We are borrowing from reality TV, but they don't know that reality TV is actually scripted. Producer here will tell you, our director here will tell you, that reality TV is scripted. Not what you're seeing is not actually happening at that exact time. It's not real time. So even when you want to mimic reality TV, remember that some of the things are done by professionals. They are scripted. The dresses they are wearing actually were pre-designed. A lot of expenses went into them. But here you are with your small little life. You want to also show us how you can wear expensive dresses, be in expensive restaurants. But this is someone's project that they paid for a lot of money to have it come before you the way it has come. And someone else has done the production. A lot of thinking and spending has gone into it. So when you want to mimic that in your private life as an influencer, you have to also know what are the pros and cons for me. But the other thing that I wanted to add to what she's saying is that, these phones that we use, especially us ladies, we smear oils. Yeah.
Oh yes.
We smear oils,
hand lotion.
You're always making sure your hand is moist and all that.
Or the hair oil.
Yes, or the hair. So we want, and we love to look good, which is a good thing. But it's not so good when it comes to your phone and your gadgets, because if, say, for instance, you have your password as a pattern, you want to draw this pattern. Do you see what I've drawn? You can even see it, I think, from afar.
Yeah.
So if every time you are with someone and you're drawing your pattern, they can trace that pattern. It's very easy.
Very easy, considering
the oil and then your screen. Even if you do this, so if you have a pattern, I see the producer is picking his phone. I hope you don't have a pattern.
Don't worry, he probably doesn't use hand lotion.
Yes. If you have a pattern, you have to be very careful how you draw that pattern and when and where you draw it. Perhaps you use digits and keep changing it. But also, if you can't resist using a pattern, every time you draw it, do this. Wipe it, okay? So the pattern doesn't show. But it's still... Yeah, with time, the screen gets used
From what I'm hearing, it's digits over patterns just to be safe.
Yes, but also in the workspace, we use workplace emails. And we think that these workplace emails are so, I don't know, classy and all that. But remember that someone else sets the password, resets the password, and does everything for you. So you actually don't have control over that account. So if you don't want everything about you to be out there with the IT person, they're always lovely people, by the way. They smile, but they know everything about you, what you do in that account.
Because they can easily access
it. So keep your private account private to you, your work email, like separate work and private. have that life, that balance of private and work. Some people can't separate between work and life. I mean, there has to be.
Everything's so intertwined.
Yes.
Yeah.
It can't be work. It can't be work only. It has got to be something else as well. And when you go and log into that public computer, which is for the workplace again, remember to log out.
Yes.
We've had instances where colleagues send emails and they can't own that email because they left their emails open on the public or the work laptop or the work PC, and someone else came and just also logged in and started typing to send an email, and they have no clue that they were using another person's email. This one also didn't know that the account was being used. So we have a lot of these things happening. It's just as simple as saying log out, click log out and go. Saves you a lot of mess.
Thank you so much for pointing that out. Those seem obvious until you're a victim. And I think one of the things that I have learned as a woman is could never be me, can be you real quick, especially if someone is out there to cause you harm. But also if you're also a bit lax, especially around the thing when it comes to digital safety. Thank you so much, Irene and Joyce, for sharing that. Joyce, let's get into a time where you learned the hard way, you know, because maybe when we bring it home, a lot of times, there are things we sometimes might take for granted, but also there are certain things we might not know. But unfortunately, when the consequences are looking, they don't care whether you knew or you did not know. So please do share with us an experience that changed your life as far as navigating online safety is concerned.
Yeah, I was a new journalist, a fresh one from school, and I was too busy with Facebook. But then I'd not got the X and the LinkedIn. I was busy on Facebook. I could be 24/7 on Facebook. I didn't know I was doing wrong until I was hacked. Because being too busy on Facebook, I was too active, as if I didn't have enough work to do because I was too busy on Facebook. And I could do 2 to 3 stories a day, then go back to Facebook. And it was one day, my account was hacked. Someone posted nudes, porn videos, and that person started posting to my friends on Facebook that this is what I want to do with you, this is how I want to do it with you. And I was like, and unfortunately I had taken like 2 days without visiting my account. And when I remember someone called me and she was like, what are you posting on your wall? And I was like, which one? Go and check on your Facebook account. My dear, when I opened, how I freeze.
You still had access? Sorry to interrupt.
By the way, till now I no longer use Facebook. I started hating Facebook because I was like, hey, kumbe someone can come in and do whatever they want on my account. I tried inboxing people. No, it is not me. And I was like, I put it on the wall. No, this is not me. And it was hard to convince people, and most of them were not convinced because they are like, you people from school, you are like excitement, the village excitement and urban excitement with you. You are like, you're posting these things and you are denying the fact that you are the one posting them. And I was like, I started withdrawing from posts on Facebook. Even until now, Facebook is not my thing.
It traumatized you.
Facebook is not my thing because only a friend, she had fallen a victim of the same scenario, and she was like, even mine was hacked. But she was only one from the many who are calling to accuse me. So it was like, Facebook, if you're not too careful with using these public PCs and Wi-Fi and whatsoever, you can fall a victim, especially when you're still innocent in the internet. And by the way, there are many girls who fall into these traps because they don't know. They don't know what to do. They don't know when to do it. They don't know what to post and what to avoid. So when they keep posting, they keep being active on Facebook and other accounts, people get advantage. They don't mind where they post from. They don't mind what time they are doing this. And they don't mind the friends they have on Facebook. It is so crucial on these accounts to know which friend am I having here. Who is tagging me? Who should tag me? And why should that person tag me?
Who am I even letting into my space?
In my space. The type of people, the category of people. Not everyone has to be on your account. Not everyone has to be your friend. You have to decide on what to do, when to do, and how to do it on your spaces so that you keep yourself safe. Otherwise, you can fall a victim.
How did you recover? Because I've seen this happen to very many people. It even happens on WhatsApp. Before you know it, someone is either asking you for money or they're telling you, win this amount of money, and all these scams going around. I can only imagine. I can just try to imagine what that did to your reputation as a young journalist. How did you pick yourself back up?
At first, I was in a panic. I didn't give it time, because if I did, I would do something right at the right time. I started opening up new accounts, Facebook accounts, to tell people that this is my account and the other one I've cancelled. But in that scenario, I found out that I opened like 3 accounts. I was still confused and I was just in a panic. So a friend told me, you just quit Facebook. Just close all those accounts and quit. Just stay calm. And I was disappointed because there are some stories, there are some tips, there are some things I was sharing with friends on Facebook.
There was a family you had created.
Yes, and that was the only account where I could get these stories and updates. So I started missing this. I had not got the bits to cover the stories. I had not get the sources yet because I was still new. So I was like, I could even spend like 2 to 3 days without getting a story because my friends are on Facebook. I'm no longer using Facebook. I had to join these WhatsApp groups on spot because I had not even joined yet. So it was too hard for me. But the traumatizing thing about it, I was seen like someone who is using those things. Because if you inbox someone, I want to do this with you, and they are like, kumbe you people get these behaviors from school. You are even now, you can get even the audacity to ask me for such. And I was like, not me. How come it's not you yet, it is you? So convincing people was too hard for me. Even my family knew about these things because some of them were on my Facebook account. And they're like, someone's daughter, the one who was saying that this and this, she's good, and do you know what he's doing there? But now I could not even go to family group events and whatsoever. But with time, I learned to know that there are some girls out there who need to be guided about this thing. I learned that there are some girls who are just fresh from school. They need to use these things, but how? So I took the energy to talk to them. I saved some, but these girls from campus, it is like, who are you telling me and what are you saying? But for those who could listen, I tried to save them. And the second scenario, can I share the second one? Yes. The second scenario was a story. I had issues with my editor. My editor had asked for some conditions that I denied, and so I was working on panic. He says this, I deny. When you deny, no payment, no transport, but you have to bring that story. So I got my event. There was some good facilitation promised. So I talked to him on this day. I'm going there at this place at this time. So I won't be coming here in the morning for editorial meetings. He was like, it is okay. So the guy sent me an invitation. I had to confirm my attendance. I did. I confirmed. So a day before, the guy called me. I was in the newsroom. The guy was reminding me about the event. I was like, tomorrow I'm still remembering, I'll come. So I didn't know that guy was listening to my phone call. He was like, who is that? It is the event I talked about last time. So he was like, hey, so you go. When I went to my email on the office PC, I opened and I was reading some stories. Someone had shared a story. I had to share what I had for that someone to get my story. So we had to share the stories in that way. When I opened, I got the story. I had forgotten to log out. When I went, I was voicing the story in the studio, so I had to return. When I returned, I tried logging out, but I didn't know that the network was off. I thought I had logged out, but the network was off. So I just left. It was later. I was in a hurry. I had to go back home. It was 9:30 p.m. So I had to go. When I went, the guy sat on the computer and looked through my emails. So he told the other guy who had called me, that sorry, I won't be able to attend. Unfortunately, the guy was on the computer, maybe reading through some emails. He responded on spot. Why? So are you sure I should give your slot to someone else? Yes, it is okay because I've got an abrupt program for tomorrow morning. The guy cancelled. When I went home early morning. The event was starting at 9. So I left home by 8, and by 9 sharp I was there. When I was getting to the event, few of my colleagues were blocked from entering. So I was like, why didn't you? We are not invited and we are not on the list. I went there comfortably, like, I'm on the list. I went. I told them I was invited and I confirmed my attendance. When I went inside, I checked. The guy told me, were you invited? Yes. He gave me the list. You have to sign against your name. I tried to look for my name on the list, that name was not there.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I was invited and I confirmed attendance. The guy said, if you had confirmed, you would have been on the list. And I was like, even Edmond called me yesterday and I said I would come. Yeah. And the same guy said, it is Edmond who has given me this list. So how come you are not on the list? I had to call him. When he came, he told me, Joy, and now you're here, you said you're not coming. And I was like, you man, who told you I'm not coming? You called me and I told you I'm coming. But you told me I'd got an abrupt program. I could not believe it. And he had to bring in his laptop. He opened the email and it was my email. It was me telling him. And I was like, so what now? These people are so strict, they can't let you in. Because my hands are now tight. When I give them the list, it is them to decide. Yeah. I had to leave and I went back to office. The guy was not there. There was the assistant editor there. Mm-hmm. And they were like, we're not expecting you here. They said, what happened? I told them whatever happened there, the whole story. That lady told me, it could be so and so. She mentioned the name. I was like, how come? When you left, he was sitting on that computer. And it was the same person who said, this girl does not log out her accounts.
Oh, wow.
She forgot to log out. And the lady told me when I heard about that, I had to log out, help you log out. I signed out your email, but she did it. It was too late for her to, yeah. So she told me it is Mr. So-and-so who must have done that because when you left, we were here in the newsroom, me and him. And you know why he's doing so-and-so. So I had to confront him when he came. I was like, I was denied access to the event because someone told them I would not attend. He was like, and what do you think? And I told him, I would like to know why. Why from who? Who told you I sent the message? And I said, I'm expecting that. Because you've ever done this.
Did he ever own up to it?
Yes, he said, now what do you want to do? What do you want to do? That's what he said, and that only confirmed that he did it. Yeah. And he was like, you know what to do, and you are just wisecking. If you get into what to do, you'll be free here. Yeah. Whatever the invite you get, you will not attend those functions because you have to comply to the conditions I gave you. I just had to move out of his office. Mm-hmm. So when I talked to the madam knew what was going on in the newsroom with that guy, between the guy and the young journalist, the female journalist. So she told me, you know what? You cannot fight that guy. He will keep blocking you. What we should do, we need to quit. I'll help you quit. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of it all, you fall in that trap because you need money, you need stories.
That's also the frustration.
Yes. She said you'll be holding grudges with him until you decide to quit. Mm-hmm. And then as we were talking, he called. Told her that Joy should come to my office. Mm-hmm. I went back and I was like, then what? She was like, first, you don't log out to your accounts. Second, you as if you want to do things on your own. If it was that invite, you would have talked to me about it before you confirmed the attendance for me to decide if it is you to go or I assign someone else. Yeah. So I was like, okay. And I asked him, why, if I've not signed out of my accounts, why do you take the responsibility to check? And how did you even know that I didn't sign out? Because that is his system of doing things. Yeah. Yeah, for him to trap you, to like you have to dance on these tunes because of the accounts. So in a few months, I had to deal with the assistant editor. She helped me apply to another media house. I had to wait.
And you were able to.
Yeah, but the frustration in it was that I was used to this newsroom. I was used to these workmates in the newsroom. That even the sources invited me as a reporter on that media house. So I had to take the time to call those sources. I no longer work there. You invite me as this and this. Mm-hmm. And the trap was, they have that reporter from the station you are working now. Yes. We have someone from there already. So now it is not me. Yeah, so I had to re-establish myself in the field.
You know, the sad thing about your experience is you get to experience harassment in real life, and then you log on and you experience even more harassment and online taunting, if I'm to use the word. Thank you, Joyce, for sharing that story. Of course, on this one, I cannot even use that as a cautionary tale of please make sure the system, because that one was sort of a bit or out of your control and very malicious. But you also highlight the things that journalists, women in the media experience, which will be a story for another day. One of these days, who knows, I'll bring Irene back as well as Joyce for us to talk about this in depth. But thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story with us. Irene, the police report 2023 showed that Ugandans lost 1.5 billion shillings in cyber crimes and cyber scams. And when you talk about digital safety, the digital platforms are there, but there is that creeping one where our finances are also being affected. Ever since Facebook was shut down, most Ugandans have resorted to using VPN. But I learned recently that you are not supposed to complete transactions while your VPN is on, because a VPN essentially sometimes places you in another country and you do not know what cookies you even said yes to. And for some of us, we don't even pay for these VPNs. And we all know cheap things are expensive in the long run. As someone that trains people for digital safety, what are some of the tips that you can give to us, especially on how to safeguard our monies? We love to shop online. I must confess though, I sometimes when people say as ladies, I find shopping very hectic. But I know that there are lots of women who love online shopping. We are in a space where you can pay for courses online using your card. Nowadays, networks, the Airtels and the MTNs of this world are now even giving us e-cards where, you can be able to transact freely online with your monies. Do you have any tips on how we can navigate that other world? Because back then you'd go to the market and buy your stuff. But nowadays, all I have to do is sit here and just complete transactions online. What does digital safety look like in that area with our finances so that we don't fall victims of online financial scams?
Thank you very much. Please allow me just say you're very brave, Joyce, for sharing this story. And your braveness is a good thing for others because then we can learn from these stories and become better as women. And just to let you know, recently I did a study on factors contributing to women leaving newsrooms in Uganda for my master's thesis. And what she shares are some of the reasons that the respondents were sharing with me. So it's good that we speak about these things. If we don't speak about them, then the perpetrators get the strength and the ego to continue doing what they're doing. Now, back to your question. The digital space is like this thing that comes and everybody who has a smartphone and can access as little as 10 MBs wants to go and do something there online. But I'm asking myself always, do you understand what it is you're getting into? If you're shopping online, well, it's interesting that the price is there for you, so you can just put it in the cart and then use your card to pay. But do you understand how the online space works, especially the transaction aspect of it? What can you do and what can't you do within that online space? I think it's very important that people understand, first of all, how transactions happen online. What limitations do I have? What limitations do you have even as you go to shop online? What are the things that they're going to ask you and you can provide as your financial details or your personal biodata? And what are the things that they're not supposed to ask you? Okay? Because with the excitement of buying things, or with the excitement of transacting online, sometimes we forget that some of the things that we are doing are actually not acceptable. We're giving away too much to the person who we think we are shopping from. And sometimes, with a lot of fakes coming on board, and now we even have deep fakes.
Yes.
You don't know who it is. you have to sort of like do background checks to find out who is it I'm dealing with. Sometimes can you just even call to confirm? Just like I was telling someone the other day that, hey, if they're asking you for money and you don't have the money, just give a call and ask the person what they need the money for, and if you can help, when you'll be able to help, or if you can't help, you can't really help.
Yes.
You shouldn't die for it that you can't help. Only to call and the number was not going through, but the number is still sending her messages. Okay, so that suspicion of, okay, I am shopping here, I'm doing this, but is there a number I can call if I want to inquire something? Is there someone I can? And also now we have chatbots
Yes.
that if you are shopping, they ask you to make inquiries within the app or within the website where you're shopping from. But there should be a way you're able to connect somehow, especially if you're paying a huge amount of money. There should be a human on the other end of the line. If there's no human completely on the other end of the line, is it a trusted source? Is it a trusted place to go and shop? You trust Safe Border that they will come and pick you because you know Safe Border has been around, has been reliable. I'm giving Safe Border as an example. Uber or Bolt or any other can be an example. There are many others that are coming up these days. But do you know their safety protocols? Have you read and understood what you can possibly do in that space and what you can't do in that space? If, say, for instance, let's move away from just the shopping, the transport sector. What is a guarantee that if the driver picks me from my house, I will be able to go to the point where I want to go safely without any issues? Okay? You know, there are places where, say for instance, for drivers, we have to rate them, and sometimes they ask you to write things. Some of us don't do that. And we've allowed bad drivers to continue on the road because we don't care to comment, to rate, and all that. The same thing with the shopping experiences. If you've gone through a bad experience online, share it. Sort of like a warning to others, but also to give information and sensitize the others and say, hey, look here, I don't know what experience has been with this platform, but this is what happened to me. So this information sharing kind of disempowers the bad elements within the digital space. And for me, really understanding the space is important. And if you're not sure, can you have a human on the other side of the line?
Yes.
Confirm, so you're sure your money is going to the right place and it's going to do the right thing. I am sure 100% that these app developers have given platforms where you can communicate with the person on the other end of the network. Because if I am using Bolt, for instance, and the driver is circling in a place I can't understand, within the app, I can call the driver. Or I have the number of this driver. Or if the driver shows up and it's not the number plate I was expecting, he has got to explain himself. Or I don't answer that. I don't enter that car. I cancel it and explain.
Then give feedback. Yes.
I give explanations as to why I cancelled the ride.
Yeah.
So I think in the digital space we need to do that a lot more. Not everybody who is transacting online has good intentions. There are lots of bad elements, and there are those who are really, really, really up to grab your money, especially the ones who tell you to click the link. Let me talk about one thing. We have a data protection, and in this country, we don't ever talk about these data protection policies and the law itself. Have you ever received messages, SMS, this short messaging on your phone, and the loan guy is asking you to ask and apply for a loan, and there's a link? How did you get my number? I didn't come to ask for a loan. So we need to ask these questions. How did this Furaha, I'm giving this example of Furaha because it's the most annoying one on my phone.
Oh dear.
I didn't go to Furaha. Where does Furaha get the authority to keep sending me their promotions and their messages? I didn't, even MTN or Airtel, I didn't give them the authority to keep sending me their promotions. Why do they keep doing that? There are things I should be able to allow, and there are things I should not allow, and it should be okay with my service provider. Yeah.
Thank you for highlighting that we should not be bystanders. We should not just take the back seat as far as our safety is concerned, that we also need to be very proactive and actually take charge and ask these questions. Otherwise, normalizing, that's how they are, has led us into, very, very murky waters. Now, ladies, I know that we could have this conversation till the cows come home. But as we wrap this up, Joyce, I need you to speak to parents, or even journalists, the women in the media, in the media space. You could both do that because this is your area of expertise. How can we keep safe as journalists navigating the media space?
Okay, thank you so much. I think we need to go back to the grassroots. We need to talk to these young girls from school, right from school. And it is the parent, it starts with me, the parent, to tell this kid, this girl at campus or in secondary level or primary, how to use the phones. These days we have to, no alternative, but we give them those phones because they need the phones. But you just have to educate them on how to use the phone. Where should you look for what you want to do? And where shouldn't you exceed? Because it is from these phones that these kids learn more and more things, and then they open themselves, they expose themselves to the world online. They get this and that. So if we start from the parents, they have to talk to these girls, especially the girls, because they are the very victims of the harassment and hackers and whatsoever. So when we talk to them, they will grow up knowing what to do, when to do it, and how to do it online. Then we as journalists, I took it as a responsibility to talk to these female journalists who are just coming from school. They are just joining journalism. I share the experiences I went through. It is for them to pick it or leave it. But I try as much as I can to educate them on what to do on internet. They have to be careful with what they post, when to post that, and how do you benefit from what you're posting. Yeah, because even currently, unemployment level is very high. And this is the time when you receive a message. By the way, I received a message 2 months back. Someone's telling me you have been selected and you're hired. Congratulations for this job that you didn't apply. And I was like, I didn't apply for this job. How come you have been selected when I didn't apply? That guy responded and told me, just share your email. I'll give you the details about that job. So that's when I woke up and I was like, this guy is a hacker. He wants to get my email. And it takes time to explain to this young girl. Because she's unemployed, she's looking for a job. Automatically, she will share the email because she wants to get information about that job. Yeah. People need money. You get these links. Click on the link, share with 15 people in your account whatsoever. And get 1 million. People are poor. People need money. These girls need necessities that their parents are no longer giving them. So this girl has to fall into that trap to share the link, because you can receive some links on WhatsApp. Someone is sharing, and you are like, this is fake. You not get this money. And there are those people who comment down there, my dear, I got the money, I shared and I got money. Thank you for sharing. Wow, what's up? And they are misleading these girls. So we need to educate these girls. And there are those girls who don't have access to internet, but in future they will. So it takes time to explain to that girl who is not yet in use with the smartphone, but to tell her, if you happen to use a smartphone, this and this is happening. And me, I've always thought about the community engagements. Women need education about smartphones, internet, and online harassment and whatever that happens online. They need to be safe. But some of them use these analog phones. But at some time this is the same one who will get a smartphone. Yeah. And because of the excitement, she'll get to fall into all those traps. So we need to educate them. If we can get a chance to talk to them physically, conversations with them, they will share their experiences and we can tell them what to do, when to do it, and how to do it online, so that you enjoy your own online spaces, but when you are very safe. And you enjoy it to the fullest, that whatever you post is what you want to post. Whatever you receive is what you want to receive. But it takes time to talk to them. Especially, for me, my heart beats for these young girls from campus. Yes. You can look at the guy in the newsroom and you are like, kumbe, she's going to fall in that trap. And when some of them don't welcome our talks, you try to talk to her and she's like, that old woman here, the whatever.
You look like I hate her.
Yeah, and for those who try to listen, they can come back and tell you, you told me this and this and this and it happened, so it saved me. So it's like I try my best to talk to them. And for the girls at home that this second relevant whatsoever, I try as much as I can to supervise them when they are looking for a number. They are looking for something. I try to look at them when they are doing that.
So guidance is very, very important for us.
And even my daughter knows Google. When she's doing homework and you don't know the answer, when she asks you, she says, "Mommy, check on Google." And these days, she no longer asks me to check on Google. She just goes. She grabs my phone, goes to the bedroom. Within a few minutes, she says, "Mommy, the answer is this and this." I'm like, "How did you get that?" Google. So I'm like, is it only Google that she checked? So I told her, if you want to check my phone, bring it here. I'll check for you. I'll give you the answer. And in fact, you don't need the answers from Google. Go check your book. Go check the notes you have in the book. You get the answer. So it's like these girls, these babies are familiar to their phones. But what are they seeing? And what are they taking? Which picture are they taking? Because one day my girl told me, "You know, I have a friend, Gabby. For her, she has a phone at home. She can get this and this. Mommy, do you have this app?" She mentioned like 3 apps. And I'm like, "What do you want the apps for?" Because Gabby knows the app and there is this and this and that. It was hard for me because you talk to your girl, but Gabby's mom doesn't. So it takes time to talk to kids, and parents should take it as a responsibility. We need to save these girls and boys.
You know, you raise a very interesting point where you have to parent your child, but you also have to parent them for that child that is being parented very differently. However, you raise the issue of guidance. Parents need to be as involved. Don't just give the iPod or whatever and leave the children there. But also we need to keep having these conversations. Unfortunately, with the way the patriarchy is structured, a lot of girls, especially the younger girls, would prefer to learn from personal experience, but let's keep informing them so that at least they know that an older lady out there looked out, even though I ended up falling into this trap. Irene, real quick, what are some of those tips that you could give to us that we need in our day-to-day life so that we can stay safe on the internet?
You know, we live in an era where we have so many friends. I would like to know how many people you have as your followers on X, for instance.
Yes.
Or how many friends you have on Facebook, or how many people are with you on TikTok, how many people are with you on Instagram or LinkedIn. But we are the most lonely. We think we are talking to people, we think we are having conversations. Most of them are not meaningful. Most of them are not honest. They are not true reflections of who we are. They are very choreographed. So ask yourself, if I am on this platform, why am I there? Am I for the follow, for the likes? After the follow and likes, then what? Does it bring bread and butter? There's a way some teenagers like to put it, because it's where they earn from, which
The
is
bag
good.
is a bag.
Yes, which is good. But ask yourself, away from this online space, what are you? Is it what, if I called you out of what you're showing online and brought you to the physical, will I still find the authentic you? Or these are two different human beings? Then perhaps you'll take safety seriously. Because if you protect yourself, if you don't want a thief to come into your house and steal everything you have, that means you'll guard this house and take good care of it. I think that's how we should approach the online space, even our digital footprints. If you don't want everybody to get into your space where you are with your spouse, why do you let them in? Okay? That's to say, if you want to go swimming, enjoy the swimming, but why should we see you in a bikini if you're not a model? For instance, I'm just saying, you can enjoy your life, but if you bring yourself and your bikini before us, why are you bringing it before us? Okay? If you decide to bring you and your family to our space and leave your door open, why are you doing it? So the why of what you do is very important in the digital space, because I have seen people really lose it at a certain stage in their lives because they forgot the things they were doing in the digital space, and it caught up with them now when they needed to go a notch higher in terms of their their professions and all that. So the digital space, first of all, let it be personal to you that I am the one who has the key to this this space. So how I open it, how wide I open it, and who I allow in will impact me. That is number one. Number two, take the internet to be your source of something. If she is a journalist, does her journalism or does her work get onto that space? How can she use that space to better herself? Because a lot of the things that we post and then invite all these hackers, the scammers and everyone is because of what we try to show ourselves as, to the world. And in most cases, it is not what we are or who we are.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So if you try to show me your family in a particular way and I'm interested in your husband, I can hack you. By the way, there are people who hack for fun.
Yeah.
They hack just to have fun.
And
You
hurt
just
you.
need to have a conversation with your husband, and you've been showing us all over the place that that's your cute guy. I will hack and have a conversation with your man. Because you've let me into your house. You've invited me. So what is it that you're doing there, and why are you doing it? Okay? And then also in this era of a lot of deep fakes, if you are not sure, they say that women, we always have a sixth sense somewhere. If you're not sure of what it is you are retweeting, replying to, and all that, if you have not yet cross-checked, verified, confirmed, don't engage with it. Don't engage with it. She said some people are looking for money, but at least let your being broke take you to work. Put that energy to productive use and get the money, and the money. Yeah. But there's nothing like UNICEF is sending money and it is coming for